Are home prices dropping? Is this market rally finally over? Is now the time to jump into the market if you're a buyer? In this video, we're going to talk about everything you need to know about the current state of the Utah real estate market. I've been seeing a lot of headlines and a lot of fear and uncertainty in the market. Basically, people saying, hey, prices are dropping, inventory's dropping. It's basically mayhem out there. I'm seeing a lot of people kind of rousing other people up, and I don't think it's necessarily warranted. So we're going to cover all of that here today in this video. If this is your first time to the channel, my name's Cody. I am a real estate agent here in Salt Lake City, and I make videos about everything you need to know about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, and play here along the Wasatch Front. And if you're thinking about making a move here to the Salt Lake City area or any of the surrounding areas, make sure to reach out to me. My information is on the screen and it will be in the description box below. You can call, text, or email anytime. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. I've helped people from all across the world make that move, and now I've helped over 100 families and individuals personally make that move. So I'm super happy about that, and I would love to hear from you as well, so we can talk about the type of home and lifestyle that you're looking for when you get here to Utah. Now, without further ado, let's jump here into my computer. Let me go ahead and make myself a little bit smaller so we can take a look at some of the statistics that we're seeing in the market. So one thing you have to know about the Utah real estate market is that it's been very, very hot. Much like every other part of the United States, this market has been absolutely crazy. When the pandemic hit last year in March or April or whenever that was, a lot of people got really scared about what was going to happen in the real estate market. A lot of people were looking at it thinking, hey, this might be the time where we go through another 2008 recession and prices drop significantly. However, the complete opposite of that happened. As you can see here in the stats that we're going to look at in a minute, you can see that there is a ton of growth in the market. A lot of people said, hey, now's the time actually to buy a house because we're locked in the house all the time. We need to get something that's a little bit better than what we have right now. So people made that jump. They started purchasing homes, but the problem was there wasn't enough inventory out there. So this caused prices to skyrocket, not only here in Utah, but across the whole United States. So with that said, let's jump into some of the data here. So this information that I'm looking at here is for Utah County, Salt Lake County, and Davis County. Those are the three main metro counties here in our metro market, which covers probably 75% of the population of the entire state. So most of the population and most of the home sales in the state are going to be right here in these three counties. Also, I should mention that this is just for single family homes. This doesn't include condos or townhomes in this particular search. Now, I think I've been seeing some headlines and people talking about this for two different reasons. Number one is because they're seeing that the home prices, the number of home sales over the past couple of months has dropped slightly from where it was in June. We were in June at 2,380 was our count. And then in July, we dropped down to 2,206, and in August, 2,253. So yes, this did drop slightly, roughly 150 to 100, roughly about 130 to about 160 or so. Home sales less in July and August than we saw in June. So yes, we did see fewer sales, but also we did see prices kind of stagnate a little bit and then drop just slightly for single family homes. We did see this single family home median price is now at $530,000, and it stayed flat from June to July, same exact price here. So it's worth looking at the pricing as well, because this column right here is the sales price of these single family homes. So we actually stayed stagnant. We saw a huge jump from May to June of over $25,000 going up to $530,000 here. And then we saw it stayed flat right there into July, where it was also at $530,000, though it is worth noting that the median listing price did jump up. So right here we were just under 500,000, and then here we did jump up to 510. So people were offering a little bit more above the asking price in June than they were in July, although in July these homes were priced higher to begin with. So we did see that at 530,000, and then going into August, we actually saw the final sales price median drop just slightly. So I think this is where a lot of people are saying, hey, prices are down, the market's changing, the market's flipping, the market's not as crazy as it was, 3 months ago, but I don't think that's necessarily true. We're still seeing a lot of inventory come into the market. We're still seeing homes sell very quickly. We're still seeing a lot of price action, and that's prices going up and also price drops. I think the other thing that's worth noting is a lot of people are saying, hey, I'm seeing all these homes come on the market market, and they sit there and then they get price drop after price drop. So yeah, we've seen so many houses come onto the market because they're so highly priced, then they have to come down in price to get back to a fair market value. Just because somebody is going through a price drop doesn't necessarily mean that prices are dropping, right? If you price a home at $600,000, but the fair market value of what somebody's willing to pay is only $550, well, you're probably not going to sell that house for $600,000. So even though prices might be slightly higher than they were previously, people are looking at this and saying, oh, you know, the price drops are coming. So this is really worth noting. I mean, even if we look at this, if you look from July to August, yeah, you could say that the median sales price dropped. But seriously, look at this. From August going back to May, you're still up $20,000 in just a 3-month time span right there. So it's a little bit ridiculous to say that, oh, the market's, you know, changing. We're, you know, what's going to happen with it? The market is still very strong. If we look year over year, we saw an insane amount of growth. Back here in August 2020, you were at $420,000 for your median sales price. And in August of this year, we're at $526,000 for single family homes here in these 3 counties. So with that said, guys, look, prices are still climbing up. They're still seeing increases out there in the market. We're still seeing prices continue to gradually creep up. I don't think we're going to see any major runs in the market here over the next little bit. I don't think we're going to see a massive, you know, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 climb in just a couple of months. I could be wrong, but I don't see that happening just because prices have gotten so high as it is that at some point you have to hit that ceiling, right? At some point, there's only so many people who are willing to pay that higher price. So that's something you have to take note of. On the flip side of that, I don't see any reason why the market would drop. You know, so if you look at it and say, well, why would it keep climbing? Well, I don't see any reason why it would drop either. The only thing I could potentially see happening there is if interest rates start to go up, because then people are able to qualify for less. So if interest rates go up high enough, then people are not going to be able to afford that $500,000 home anymore. They might only be able to afford $475,000 because they now have a higher interest rate. And theoretically, across the whole market, that could cause the market to drop ever so slightly. So that's something you have to take into account there. We could see that happen. I think it's pretty unlikely to see interest rates climb up rapidly. You know, I think they could kind of creep up and that might make a difference, but I wouldn't be surprised, you know, to see them stick roughly around the same level that they're at. They might climb up, you know, 0.25%, 0.5%, maybe even 0.75%, but anything more than 1%, I think is pretty unlikely when it comes to interest rates. So in my personal opinion, I don't think prices are going to drop. I think they're going to kind of stay steady where they're at, or they're going to continue to climb ever so slightly as we go into the future. I would say that that's going to be the case for roughly the next 12 months or so. You know, we could be wrong. We could see some different changes, but I feel pretty confident about that in my own opinion. Looking further out than that, it's a little bit hard to say. You know, even economists and builders say, hey, we can't really predict the future more than 12, 18, maybe 24 months out at most, because there's just too many uncertain things that could happen, right? There might be World War III. There might be this other world event that comes along that happens that could totally disrupt everything and really throw things off. So with that said, guys, this is a market review of the Utah State market. If you're thinking about making a move here, reach out to me. Like I said, my information's here on the screen. I'd love to hear from you. Give me a thumbs up here on the video. Share this video with a friend or family member who's interested in this type of video. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. With that said, catch you in the next one.